John D. Rockefeller was born on July 8, 1839 in Richford, New York. His father was a traveling salesman. Even as a small child, Rockefeller made money by selling turkeys, candy, and doing jobs for his neighbors. In 1853, Rockefeller and his family moved to Cleveland, Ohio, where he attended high school and then studied bookkeeping for a short time at a commercial college. When Rockefeller was 16 years old, he worked as an office clerk at a Cleveland commission firm that bought, sold, and shipped grain and coal. In 1859, Rockefeller and a partner created their own commission firm. The same year, America's first oil well was drilled in Pennsylvania. In 1863, he and several partners entered the new oil industry by investing in a Cleveland refinery. In 1865, Rockefeller borrowed money to buy out some of his partners and take control of the refinery, which had become the largest in Cleveland. Over the next few years, he found a few partners and expanded his business interests in the oil industry. At the time, kerosene derived from petroleum was used in lamps was becoming an economic staple. In 1870, Rockefeller formed the Standard Oil Company of Ohio with his younger brother, William and Henry Flagler, along with a group of other men. John Rockefeller was its president and the largest shareholder in the company. Standard Oil gained a monopoly in the oil industry by buying rival refineries and developing companies for distributing and marketing its products around the world. In 1882, these companies were combined into the Standard Oil Trust, which would control about 90% of the nation's refineries and pipelines. In order to exploit economics of scale, Standard Oil did everything from build its own oil barrels to employ scientists to figure out new uses for petroleum byproducts. This is vertical integration. Rockefeller's enormous wealth and success made him a target of muckraking journalists, reform politicians, and others who viewed him as a symbol of corporate greed and criticized the methods with which he built his empire. In 1890, the U.S. Congress passed the Sherman Antitrust Act, the first federal legislation prohibiting trusts and combinations that restrained trade. 2 years later, the Ohio Supreme Court dissolved the Standard Oil Trust. However, the businesses within the trust soon became part of Standard Oil of New Jersey, which functioned as a holding company. In the year 9/11, a few years after litigation, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled Standard Oil of New Jersey was in violation of the antitrust laws and forced it to break up into multiple smaller businesses. Rockefeller retired from day-to-day business operations of Standard Oil in the mid-1890s. Inspired in part by his fellow entrepreneur, Carnegie, who made a lot of money in the steel industry, then became a philanthropist, and gave away the bulk of his money, Rockefeller donated more than $500 million to various places. Among these places, he funded and established the University of Chicago and Rockefeller University, which at the time was a medical research institute.